What's up? It's your boy D coming at y'all with another video. This video here, I ain't really got a chance to really talk about it, but we gonna get into the Soulcalibur 6. I've done a few uploads on Soulcalibur 6, and a couple guys asked me, how come I haven't really been uploading a lot of Soulcalibur 6, footage and gameplay, and probably because I've been having so much fun with the game, I'll be forgetting to even upload it. So the game is really fun in that matter. But going forward, I am going to be uploading more Soulcalibur 6 gameplay and stuff like that. But in this video here, we just gonna talk about Soulcalibur 6. How good it is, and how much fun I'm having with it. And it's a pretty good game. It's a game that pretty much everybody can get into, even if it's not your favorite fighting game. It's a game that's just good and fun to play, and it's not a time-wasting game at all. So Soulcalibur 6 has been out for a couple months and some change, and there's been a lot of things going on in Soulcalibur 6. Just recently, the whole thing with 2B, and it just don't really, let me tell you something about 2B. It really don't seem like people are feeling her right now, other than the DOA sex appeal that she has. But ain't nobody really feeling 2B. A lot of people say she overpowered and all that shit. Me personally, I could care less about the character. I don't care about the character. I haven't really come across any 2Bs as of yet. I guess that's a good thing. But it don't really seem like people feeling this character right now. I don't know, like people say she's overpowered, people say she's broken, and I kind of believe that because I did a video a while back about the whole thing about Tira being behind a paywall, and like when it comes to fighting game DLC packages, man, I just, I don't be feeling it. You will never see me buy an entire package for a fighting game DLC. You will never see me do that. The only thing I would do is I would actually pay for that particular character or whatever particular feature it is, and I'm gonna be happy with it. I ain't gonna pay an extra $20 or whatever it is for an entire season fighting game DLC pass. I don't ride like that. This ain't Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? These are fighting games, man. Supposed to be in from the jump, and it's not gonna change sooner or later, but I'm still hoping like they just kill this whole fighting game season pass. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Just just go back to the classic way. Have us do a mode or give us a hidden character after we accomplish something. But that shit ain't gonna change no time soon. But let's get back to the whole 2B thing. Yeah, it don't really seem like people feeling her. People, think she kind of cheap or whatever. But like I said before, I don't really even care about the character so far. There's been some rumors that, Cassandra, may show up. Now that's a character that be like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, Cassandra can come in. Now, would I pay for her? Probably so, because she's a classic character, and I'm pretty much familiar with Cassandra, so I would do that. But as far as Tira, 2B, man, get out of here. I don't care. Who cares? Get it out of here. Now, as far as the gameplay and mechanics are concerned, I really don't have no complaints about it, because Soulcalibur 6's mechanics and the gameplay, it's real simple. It's simple. You got the reverse edge. Like a lot of people, like reverse edge is kind of like 50-50 right now. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people think it's like a scrub mechanic and stuff like that, but it's like, to me, reverse edge is it's really optional. I don't use it too much. The only time when I use it is when I kind of feel like my opponent is just done said fuck it, and then they just gonna start mashing damn buttons like this is some type of old ass Bushido blade game. I'll use reversal edge then, but I really don't use reversal edge like that. I ain't got nothing against it. It's just like, I'm pretty much traditional when it comes to a game like Soulcalibur 6. I just go into the traditional type way. But if I see you playing like this is Bushido blade or some shit like that, yeah, I'm gonna use reversal edge, because I think that's the reason why it got put in the game. But reverse edge, I don't really use it a lot. A lot of people hate the hell out of it. It just really all depends. It really all depends on play style. And then after that, you know, pretty much everything else is pretty cool. It's real simple in Soulcalibur 6. I mean, you don't really, it ain't too much, you know, complications or nothing like that. And the game allows you to be pretty much traditional like the first two Soulcaliburs. So yeah, like I just hear a lot of people just really don't like Reverse Edge, and I just be like, well, you know, it's just an optional thing. I understand why people don't like it, but as for me, I just use it if I feel like my opponent just basically goes brain dead and start playing like they playing Bushido Blade or some shit. Just like, you know, doing some shit like that. So that's the only time when I really use Reverse Edge. But other than that, I mean, the gameplay is pretty good. You know, the controls are pretty on point, pretty traditional. You know, ain't no problems there. And you know, other than that, man, you know, and then, you know, got the, you know, the 8-way run effect. This is pretty good. Soulcalibur 6, well, Soulcalibur as a whole is probably one of the best games that utilizes the 8-way run system. I mean, it was one of the first games to do that. So I like how that is. I like how fast it is, and the way that you're able to execute out of it, that's still pretty good too. So the overall game mechanics in Soulcalibur 6, man, it's pretty cool. It ain't nothing, you know, nothing too much complain about. But like I said, when it comes to that Reverse Edge, you know, it just depends on my opponent's approach and what they all about. If they just whacking, you know, at the joystick, yeah, Reverse Edge is necessary. Now with Soulcalibur 6, if y'all have watched my previous uploads of Soulcalibur 6, y'all will obviously know that my main character is Maxie. Then after that is Bulldog. And then, you know, after that, I would probably fuck with Astaroth. And like I said before, like if Cassandra does come, if she does show up in the next DLC, I might ride with Cassandra a little bit. But Maxie and Voldo, those are my top two characters there. They've been that way ever since the first two Soulcaliburs. You know, Soulcalibur 6, one thing about Soulcalibur 6, I really had, I ain't gonna say I gave up on Soulcalibur, but I did take a long hiatus from playing Soulcalibur, because after Soulcalibur 2, 3, 4, and 5 was just kind of, they just really kind of sucked. It just really didn't catch my eye. Those 3 Soulcalibur games did not catch my eye like the first 2, but Soulcalibur 6, you know, you could tell that, you know, Okabu and Bandai Namco, they are going back to the traditional route with the first 2 Soulcaliburs. They've obviously done some research, and they've figured out that the first 2 Soulcaliburs were clearly the most popular, and you know, Soulcalibur 6 is a clean emulation of those first 2 Soulcaliburs, so that is cool. It's cool that they doing that, and you know, it's coming out to be quite a big success. Now, the reason why these are my top 2 characters, you know, Maxie being my main and then Voldo being number 2, is the thing with Maxie is Maxie's a very unique, complex character. You know, he somewhat emulates Bruce Lee. A lot of people kind of take that out of hand. Like, I don't really think he's that much of a Bruce Lee emulation, other than he uses the nunchaku. You know, that's one thing. You know, he uses the nunchaku. And Maxie's not a character. You know, he's not like Keelik, where you can play the distance game, or Ivy, or no other character like that. You really have to game plan. You really have to strategize with him. You really have to know what button that you're pressing, because, you know, Maxie and Voldo, for that matter, you know, if you press a wrong button, they doing some other stuff. So you got to be coordinated with Maxie, because, you know, he's so complex that you really have to have a little time clock in your head when you want to do something, and you know, you can't just walk up to your opponent and just start whacking. You just can't do it with Maxie. He's a real he's a test of timing. To me, he's a test of timing. You gotta know when to execute. You really gotta know when to defend. You really gotta play footsies with him, and it makes it all fun. I know back in the day, you know, like Soulcalibur 1 and 2, especially in tournaments, they always say that Maxie was a try-hard character. Well, guess what? You gotta be with Maxie. You gotta try hard, because if you go in with Maxie, just start dibbling, dabbling, you're gonna get beaten. You're gonna get embarrassed, and that's what I love about Maxie. That's why he's my main. He's a nice, you know, test of timing. You know, you really have to have great timing with Maxie. And then with Voldo is kind of the same way, but Voldo is he's more wacky and more kind of, you know, strange in a certain way, but you really have to have your timing down. You really have to have a game plan with Bulldog, because if you don't have a game plan and your opponent is probably just one of those overly aggressive type, you know, opponents, you know, it's going to be kind of difficult with Bulldog and Maxie for that matter. So those two characters, that's the reason why I like them. And this whole myth that they're easy to use characters, yeah, right, because here's the thing, you don't see too many Bulldogs out there. There's a reason for that, because they don't want to concentrate on, you know, the game planning and the timing. Now here's the thing with Maxie. A lot of people say that, you know, Maxie is a cheap character. They don't really believe that. They just say that because they just can't use him. So, you know, Maxie is my main. You know, Maxie's gonna be my main until Soulcalibur is no more. That is just gonna be my top character, no matter what Soulcalibur it is. And then it's Bulldog. Those just top two characters. That's who I fly with. Now in Soulcalibur 6, you know, another good thing about it is it's not a bare bones game at all. There is some stuff to do in the game. You know, you got to create a soul. You know, I messes with that a little bit. I'm not too thrilled about the whole create a soul thing. I don't spend 90 hours, you know, doing create a soul. I don't do nothing like that. You know, I like the story mode and the treasure mode that it has too. I does that, but mostly I play online, and also mostly I play locally, casually. I ain't doing local tournaments as far as Soulcalibur 6, because I really just don't feel I'm that good quite yet to do local tournaments. But I do play locally, casually, and I do play online a lot. And the reason for it is I just like the stiff competition. I want it to be as hard and as difficult as possible, and the best way to do that is either play online or play offline locally. So that's what I've been doing with Soulcalibur 6. Those two main things, offline, local, and online. But the game isn't bare bones at all. It's tons of stuff to do, but I just prefer those two because, you know, I just like the stiffness and competition, and I just want max difficulty. Now here's the part where, you know, I'm gonna have to roast a couple of characters real quick, because, you know, might as well, because we're talking about Soulcalibur 6, right? So I'm gonna roast a couple of characters that I think are kind of BS characters to a certain extent, ridiculously BS. And first we're gonna start, of course, we're gonna start with Nightmare / Siegfried. Now I'm gonna be real with you. I prefer playing Nightmare. I prefer going up against Nightmare over Siegfried. I think Siegfried is just Abraham Lincoln Penny cheap. Like, you know, if I see Nightmare, I'll be like, okay, I could deal with Nightmare. But when I see Siegfried, I'll be like, man, that's exactly how I be with Siegfried, man. You gonna be in a long freaking battle with Siegfried, man. You better make sure you use the restroom and all of that shit, cause you gonna be in a long damn battle with Siegfried. Siegfried battles, man, they just take so freaking long to get finished, man. It's like when I go up against Siegfried, it's like I look at my clock, it'll be like 1:30 when I start the match. A Siegfried match won't be over to about 1:49. Like, god dang, man, what's going on, man? This character, man, Siegfried, man, boy. Yeah, y'all already know what I'm talking about when it comes to Nightmare / Siegfried. But to be quite honest with you, Nightmare, I actually like going up against Nightmare, but Siegfried, there is a difference. There is a difference. A lot of people gonna be like, well, there's really no difference. Yes, there is a difference between Nightmare and Siegfried. And I'm just telling you right now, man, you go up against Siegfried, you're gonna tell the difference straight off the bat. Man, it's just like he does kind of get away with more as far as frame and balance is concerned. Siegfried gets away with a lot of that shit. And like I said before, you're gonna be in for a long match, man. You're gonna be for a long match because you know what you're, you know, accustomed of doing, or probably however you build your craft when you find it, it's not gonna work on Siegfried. You really have to go in and have to have a strategize. You have to really have a strategy for Siegfried, man. You can't just, you know, go in with your game plan, and of course that's how we train ourselves. But Siegfried is that type of character. It's like, you're not gonna come in here with no game plan. You're not gonna come in here with no polished game plan. He's a character that can break all of that. So yeah, you're gonna be in a hell of a grind when you go up against Siegfried. Another character I don't like is Tira. I don't like that character, man. That character is just a mashy character. She's just a classic arcade mash character. don't like her at all. You know, now she's a character that, like, when I go up against her, I'm totally staying away. Like, you try to get in that character's face, that character just does too much in so little frame of time. You know, it just allows the opponent to just mash you, and then it's like you try to back up, she's right in your face because she got that ridiculous ass range. So I don't like Tira in that regard. And another character that I just cannot stand, and I don't know why people defend this character so much, is Garral. Man, come on, man, guys, stop defending this character. This character is trash in Soulcalibur 6. Hey, when it comes to The Witcher 3, I love him. Geralt is one of the best, probably top 5 protagonists when it comes to The Witcher 3, but in Soulcalibur 6, he sucks. He's cheap, he's incredibly garbage. He's garbage, and people just defend this character, man. I remember like a couple weeks ago, I got into a back and forth with some guy on Facebook, and I don't even think he was a Geralt player. He was just like, oh, you don't like Geralt because you think he's cheap because you can't beat him. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with it. When you call a character cheap, I mean, you can't beat him. Here's the reason why I think a character like Geralt is just cheap as crap, is because what Geralt player that you know uses more than 4 moves? A Geralt player only has a 4 move set, and they will just, it's just like an insane circle. They're going to use that same 4 moves, and then he has a broken neutral throw where I've seen it a couple times where I've tried to perform a super, his neutral throw actually gets through on the super. I mean, that is just, I think that is planned. I've never seen such a broken, overpowered neutral throw in my life in any fighting game. Geralt has it. Dude is just downright, just downright garbage. He's garbage, and come on, guys, y'all people need to stop defending this character. Hey, look, Witcher 3, I love him, but in Soulcalibur 6, he sucks. Now, for the characters that I do like and the characters that I'm interested in, maybe not playing with them, like playing as them, but I do like Grow. I like what Grow's got going on. He's got some interesting things going on. Of course, I'm a fan of Soulcalibur. Like, I just like his name. The name, like, there, you know, I like Soulcalibur. He would be a great boss character. I think he was the boss in Soulcalibur 2, I believe. He was the boss. You know, and I've always been a Zhanghua fan, but the only reason why I never really played with Zhanghua is because it always seemed like a power struggle with her. She is just a weak character, but I really like her. I like actually playing with her, but as far as competition is concerned, I couldn't do it because it was always a power struggle with Zhanghua. So, you know, there are a lot of characters that I do like and do interest me. I probably would never play as them, but you know, there are some good characters, those characters I just mentioned. And then also too, I kind of like well, of course, Sophia. Sophia is she's like an iconic Soulcalibur character. I like her. And then, like I keep on saying, hopefully the whole Cassandra rumors, if Cassandra comes about, yeah, I'll be rocking Cassandra. Cassandra's pretty cool to me. So that's my little discussion on Soulcalibur 6. Like I said before, I'm having a lot of fun with Soulcalibur 6. It is the best Soulcalibur game in some years, since Soulcalibur 2. So I will be uploading more Soulcalibur in the future. But you know, hope y'all like this video. Hope y'all like this little discussion on Soulcalibur 6. And you know, check out my other content I have on my channel about Soulcalibur 6. So until then, like, comment, subscribe. You know, check out all my other content as well on side of Soulcalibur 6. I hope you like it. And until then, my name is D, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.